Am I the asshole for fencing off my property? We bought the house we're currently in about 6 months ago, and we recently has a surveyor come to our property to figure out exactly where our property line is so we can put up a fence. The old fence was kind of a hodgepodge of different types of fences that were falling apart. We wanted to have something more uniform and not falling apart. While the surveyor was here, the old lady living next door, Nosy Buddy, came out to see what we were doing, and we let her know we were planning on putting up a fence. Here's where it goes left, but I don't understand what the issue is. She said that we weren't allowed to put up a fence, and when we asked why, she said her dog was used to having all of not only her backyard but our backyard too because the old owners were okay with it. I don't have anything against the dog, but I also want a fence around our house because we have small children, and it makes me feel better to know that we have a fence because there is a small foresty area and a small creek behind our property. She started ranting and raving about how young people today are selfish and that I'm an animal hater because I don't want her dog to have space to roam. I told her that it had nothing to do with her and everything to do with us. She's now trying to rally other people in the neighborhood to try and pressure us into not putting up a fence because her dog is grandfathered in. Not sure into what, but Reddit. Am I the asshole? Non-Hua neighborhood, thank goodness. Update. I know multiple people have been questioning why I would even ask. Normally, I wouldn't, and I would stick to my guns. However, I'm a city girl. I've lived in the city my whole life, and we are very much mind our business kind of people. We recently moved to the suburbs, so I was only asking because I wondered if I was being too brass for the new environment we're in. Not the asshole, and this is why you need a fence. Every not the asshole, the fence gets a foot higher. Her dog is grandfathered in. Not the asshole, lols. Okay, grandma. Entitled people will say anything to try and justify their position. You're doing nothing wrong. Sucks for her, but you're not wrong to want privacy and protection for your kids. Grandfathered in her head. Years ago we fenced in the wooded part of our property so that our dog could go back there. People behind us were upset because they couldn't dump their Xmas trees in our woods anymore. Seek 'em. It's your property, not theirs. If they wanted it for their dog, they should have bought it. Not the asshole. You're doing the responsible thing for your children. She just doesn't want to have to pick up the dog turds from her own backyard. I care more about my children's safety more than your dog. That lady is a lunatic. Not the asshole. Am I the asshole if I expose my mom's money problems to my dad after she spent my tuition? Hi, this is my first post, so sorry if it's a bit messy. I, 20F, have always supported my mom, 43F, even financially, and I usually try to understand her side. My dad, 44M, works overseas and sends money twice a month for groceries, bills, and school. He usually sends it to my mom, who then distributes it. Earlier this month, my dad came home after working abroad for 6 months. He had all our expenses mapped out, including my tuition since I'm an incoming second-year aeronautical engineering student, which is really expensive where I live. He gave my mom around $1,000 for my enrollment fee, and that is like 60% of the whole tuition fee. What my dad didn't know was that I still had a $350 balance from my previous semester. My mom used part of the $1,000 for that balance, and I agreed not to tell my dad because I trusted she'd figure out a way to cover the rest. Fast forward to last week. I finished my documents, reserved my enrollment, and was waiting for the tuition payment. That's when I found out my mom had already used the remaining money for reasons she won't explain. She's been trying to recoup it, but nothing has come through. Prior to that, she told me she'll never touch my enrollment money since it'll be hard to recover. Today is the last day of late enrollment. If my tuition isn't paid by 6 p.m., I lose my slot. I've already missed 2 weeks of classes, including major and lab subjects, and I completely broke down. I told my mom I'm tired of always having to compromise because she borrows or misuses money. I told her if this continues, I'll have no choice but to tell my dad everything. Not just about my tuition, but also about her gambling and borrowing habits I've helped cover up for years. The problem is, if I tell him, my parents will have a huge fight and he'll never trust her with money again. But I'm exhausted, and now my education is on the line. Am I the asshole if I finally tell my dad the truth? Too long did not read. Dad gave my mom $1,000 for my college enrollment. She used part of it to pay my previous semester's balance and spent the rest for unknown reasons. Now I'm about to lose my slot because tuition isn't paid, and I'm considering telling my dad the truth about her money mismanagement and gambling, even though it'll cause a huge fight. Am I the asshole? Tell your dad. It sounds like she may have a gambling addiction. Either way, it's financial abuse emo. Your dad has a right to know what's happening with their money and to not be lied to. Covering for her is enabling her. If you want to help her, tell your father and both of you can get her into gambling or shopping addiction therapy. Going forward, your father and you should be in charge of money. First of all, I am sorry you're on this situation. Honestly, I know it's difficult supporting someone when you know you shouldn't. I've been here. I don't think your mom will pay until THD deadline. And even if she will, what about next semester? Or something else important? You're not the asshole for telling your dad, but you're one for not telling him sooner. If he finds out you covered for your mom, he might be mad at you too. Rightly so. Be completely honest to him and prepare for a changed relationship with both parents. Not the asshole. Losing your spot in your program is a big deal. It's clear that your mother's problem has outgrown her ability to deal with it. I don't really see another option here that doesn't risk destroying your future. She has broken your father's trust and harmed you. He needs to know. Not the asshole, tell him. It is her own responsibility if he never trusts her again. This is not on you. Get your education. Definitely not the asshole. Your father deserves to know the truth. Your mother definitely needs to be held accountable for her actions. If it means he'll never trust her with money ever again, then so be it. If your mother complains, tell her, actions have consequences. Am I the asshole for talking about there being new people in my dance class? I, 41F, regularly take an adult dance class in my neighborhood. I have been taking it for years and grown a lot as a dancer. It is labeled as beginner, intermediate. But the description says you're welcome to join, wherever you are on your dance journey. And the teacher does a good job of breaking things down for newbies. There is a core group or 4 or 5 of us who go every single week and have been going for years. Last class, there were 4 new people I didn't recognize. One of the new women was sitting next to me before class started, and I was chatting with another fellow regular about how there's lots of new faces, and more people must be wanting to try something new and join the class, or maybe the word has spread. My friend made a comment about how the class does say it's open to everyone, even though we are more of an intermediate level. I guess the new woman was listening to our conversation. When the class started, I made a remark along the lines of, "Wow. Lots of newbies here today," since it is out of the ordinary to have more than 1 or 2 new people in class. I thought nothing of it, just pointing out something unique. Yesterday when I checked in at the front desk for a different class, the studio manager pulled me aside and said that another client had complained about me making them feel unwelcome in class and implying new people weren't welcome to join. The woman sitting near us was struggling to keep up in the class and maybe felt self-conscious, so I am assuming she is the one who complained about me. I have no idea how they got this message. Is there some unspoken double meaning behind pointing out that there are lots of new people in the room? Am I the asshole for this? You are the asshole. You literally made an effort to mention the new people, but not engage with them. You sound like a mean girl with a clique. Who cares how long you and others have been going to this class? It is listed as a beginner class, and people need to begin somewhere. You are the asshole. You knew what you were doing. You are the asshole. You were mean girling. You were making comment after comment about all the new people. Yeah, that's not welcoming. Mild, you are the asshole. You and the rest of the core group are making a big deal about newcomers. Don't gatekeep the class. You have no knowledge of their skill level, and referring to them as newbies can be insulting. You said nothing positive about new people being there, only talked about how the class does say it is open to anyone, implying that you're not okay with their presence, but since they're technically allowed you can't do anything about it. By discussing newcomers amongst yourselves instead of speaking directly to them, you're creating a clique that is excluding them. You were sitting next to a new person. Did you turn to her and say, "Welcome," and introduce yourself? Or did you only chat with the other core member about the new people being there? You are the asshole. When you engage with new people, you welcome them, not loudly remark over and over at how many of them they are. Super rude. You are the asshole. This sounds a bit like you and your friend, or friends, feel possessive over the class. You are insiders. Newcomers are outsiders. That's not cool, as the manager points out, because they are operating a business, not a semi-ish private dance class for you and your pals. Am I the asshole for refusing to babysit my sister's kid even though I have the time? My sister, 27F, has a 2-year-old daughter. She loves her kid, but she acts like the whole world should rearrange itself around her because she's a mom. I don't have kids, don't want them right now, and I live alone in a tiny apartment. My peace and quiet are all I really have. 2 months ago, she asked if I could help out sometimes with babysitting. I said yes, thinking she meant emergencies. Instead, it turned into her dropping her kid off several times a week, often without asking. She'll text, "Heading your way, thanks," and just show up. At first, I went along with it, but it's become overwhelming. My place isn't child-proofed, and I don't feel comfortable constantly chasing someone else's toddler. My grades are slipping because I'm spending hours I don't have running after a kid. The breaking point was last weekend. I had a huge assignment due. Sunday morning, she showed up unannounced saying she needed a break. I told her I couldn't, but she literally dropped her daughter's diaper bag in my hallway, kissed her goodbye, and left before I could stop her. I was shaking with anger, but I didn't want to scare my niece, so I just dealt with it. I ended up pulling an all-nighter to finish my work. When I confronted her, she acted like I'm the selfish one. She said, "You don't even have a real job or responsibilities. I'm a single mom, I need support. You're her aunt." I snapped and said being her sister doesn't make me her free nanny, and my time matters too. She cried, saying I don't understand how hard motherhood is and that she has nobody else. Now my mom is involved and taking her side. She told me family is supposed to help and I should be grateful my sister trusts me. She even said, if you don't want to be part of your niece's life, just say it. That broke my heart. I do love my niece, but this isn't the way. I know my sister is struggling. She works full-time, she barely sleeps, and her ex isn't supportive. I get that. But I'm drowning too, just in a different way. I don't think it's fair that because I don't have kids, my time means nothing. So now I'm questioning myself. Am I the a-hole for setting boundaries when she clearly needs help? Or is she taking advantage of me and using guilt to keep me in line? Not the asshole. Sounds like your mom just volunteered to babysit her granddaughter. Why doesn't the grandmother of the year take care of the child? Report your sister for child abandonment. Stop opening the door. Your mom complaining means she's just volunteered for being free daycare. Dropping off a child without any pre-planning is just rude. I think you are willing to help, but there needs to be respect for your life as well. Tell grandma to move in with your sister. Not the asshole X1000. Every time your sister drops her daughter without permission, take the child immediately to your mother and leave her there. If family helps family, mom should be okay with it. Not the asshole let your mom and sister cover it. You're not a nanny just because you're her aunt.